All right, all right, all right. What is going on? We got me. We got. All right, all right, all right. What is going on? Whoa. Me.
Something was weird.
Hold on. Major echo going on. Trying to figure this out. Is your sound on your computer?
My sound is on. It should be going through my headphones. Are you still getting an echo?
Nope, that was a me thing. It was a laptop me thing. That was a me thing. My bad. My bad on that. That was hand up, laptop, had the video running in the back. So twice now the laptop has done me dirty. Oh man, but happy to see everybody. And I was laughing when I first got on, honestly, because I saw this comment from Rob, big time Tigers fan. He said, "Role reversal day today. Both kids are at work. I'm chilling with the dog." Nothing wrong with that, man. They're both at work on Memorial Day. What are they? They must be like servers. They must serve tables or something. I tell you, some of the toughest days you had as a server were like Veterans Day. Memorial Day was actually, I think, a little bit easier because there were a lot of barbecues. But Mother's Day, if I remember, Mother's Day was the worst. Worse than Valentine's Day. Mother's Day was like you could get Valentine's Day off if you wanted. Mother's Day, you'd have to shoot a person to get Valentine or to get Mother's Day off. Like they would never give you Mother's Day off. So there
Those
you
were
go,
big
Rob.
days.
Happy to see you're home.
Those were big days. I used to bus tables, was a dishwasher at a bakery, at a breakfast place, but these nice brunch days are outrageous.
Gus says I need an IT. I kind of do need a IT producer, someone that just take this off my hands. So Gus, if you're volunteering yourself, let me know. He said, Rob, my 8 and 5-year-olds need jobs. Yeah,
Yep.
it should be bring your kid to work day as well. Uh okay, Lou. I'll take that into consideration. Maybe I will from now on like screenshot each game by itself. I could do something like this. Maybe make it not that you need to read what's on the screen, truthfully. Um, but if you want to have it there, you can. But maybe I could do something like this. And actually, we have a couple of lineups here, so maybe this will work. Or just one lineup for now, at least. Most of the time, they're not going to have lineups available. But let me know. Would you guys rather have it just be the full screen where it just has all the games and you can kind of look at it if you want to, and we can uh, go from there? Or I could bring something like this up for each game and have it more so just look like that as we talk about each game. I am going to try to also, probably not this show because I was just doing this as like a surprise type of a thing. I'm home, Squishy's home, a lot of you guys are home. So probably not today, but I want to have like a recap screen towards the end. But I also, here's the thing with the recap screen is like a lot of times when we're talking, there's like 9 levels and layers of things that I'm saying. Sometimes that Squishy's saying as well, or Mark or anyone else that comes up here, Jeff. But specifically, like I know when I talk, I might be talking about this, that, the third, and then there is, let's just say, no real. I don't want to say like there's not a pick, but there's no like definitive outcome. Sometimes that's like this is exactly what you should bet. A lot of times it's me giving you the information, showing you how I come across the information, how I find it, the way that I look at things, and then giving it to you to make your own decisions. I may lean, one direction or the other. I may give you and say, hey, this is a bet that I really want to take. But a lot of times too, I think the value comes in me just explaining, hey, this is how I've done this, or this is how I think you should do that. So a recap screen, I just don't want to get in the habit of like recapping all the picks. And then it's like, that's where the value of the show comes from. I hope that the value of the show can more so come from the fact of like, everyone's just trying to learn together, be here together. Sometimes I say something you didn't know. Sometimes someone in the chat may say something that you didn't know or you learn, or You come here and find out, hey, maybe Vlad Guerrero isn't playing today for the Blue Jays, and I didn't realize he was, hit by a pitch yesterday and had to go for X-rays and got hurt. Or I didn't realize that this pitcher is coming back off the IL, and now I want to look at that specific prop or whatever. So I do think we'll put something towards the end, or potentially post something at the end and then also tweet it. But I just don't want to get in the habit of saying this is how much the show is worth based upon X, Y, and Z, because I really enjoy showcasing a lot of your picks as well. And so that, I think that just becomes silly at some point if we're, the show is doing terrible because Gus gave us Ozzy Albies as a play because his daughter said that, she liked him today or something, right? Like there's a lot of fun that goes into this too. I just don't want to lose that. So that's all I would say about that. But yes, we are trying to do that. Let me know, though. Do you think that this is better to see and I can have one of these for each game? Or would you rather have it be where you can kind of see the time of each game for the day? I know for some people, if it's on your phone, it may be tougher to see. You can pinch it and make the screen bigger if you want. Or you can just see this stuff on MLB.com yourself as well. So let me know. And Gus said, I feel attacked. Don't feel attacked, because I was just using it as an example because I could pull Oz. I knew you're Ozzy Albies guys. I pulled it out real quick.
But this show is also about all of you guys. So we are definitely going to highlight if you guys have a play. And if we, decide as a team that we're going to ride this play, we're going to, we will recap. We're going to put in okay, we discussed this and that. We'll try to do that for sure, and especially for your plays. If we all decide, oh yeah, let's ride on this one, we're going to do that. I think it makes a lot of good sense here that this is a welcoming environment where everybody gets to be a cook. We're not necessarily.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. I think that that's something that I think is missing. I said that twice. Yeah, that's how you would say it. Something that is missing from other shows that I've watched, or, even if I'm just going through social media and I feel like everyone is saying this is my pick, or if it's on a show, it's this is what Squishy says, this is what Amag says. I have way more fun with this when it's this is what Jeff from the chat says. This is what Gus from the chat thinks. This is what Katie Taylor, who I haven't seen her name in a couple of Saturdays, I think here. She's probably been busy, but what does she think? Because she usually is crushing it, right? So yep. I like that format and doing things that way a lot more than just talking at you and giving you, this is what I think you should be betting on, and we're done.
Hey, with that being said, this is what I think you should be thinking about, and I'm going to tell it to you right now before we get forward. Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, great way to start off.
I am so proud to be an American. I'm so proud and lucky to get to live here with my family, to be in this place where I can just chat it up online about stuff that doesn't matter, sports. Thank you to all of the wonderful people who have served, who are serving. To people who have sacrificed themselves, their lives, their physical health, their mental health, all these things just for us. I am forever grateful for all people who have served. I know everybody probably has some family members, some friends, and I know we know people. That's really what today is all about. And this comes secondary. I really appreciate you all. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, I completely echo everything you just said. Thank you for kicking it off that way. I appreciate that. Big time Tigers fan said it's your show, your screen. All right, fair enough. I do like that. I think maybe we'll mix it up too. And Gus said nothing worse than the scroll to the end to view the recap guy. I do think maybe a few best bet, like the few ones we were talking about last week on Saturday. I know I had mentioned JJ Bleday. I really liked him in the second game. He was terrible. I think he was 0-4, 0-5. We talked about Stephen Kolek liking the over 16.5 outs through a freaking complete game shutout. So there was, I know those are two off the top of my head that I can remember. There was certainly specific picks that we talked about that we really did like.
Nick Kurtz.
So I think that, Nick Kurtz, he had 2 hits. That was over 1.5 hit run RBI, right near even money. That was a great hit. I actually had a good bid on that, so that was really good. So yeah, I think that we could definitely do that. Maybe even say like these are like the 5 main picks from the show or whatever. But I think a lot of the value just comes from like being here and chatting. And sometimes I say what week did I share like the spreadsheet from Fangraphs just randomly, right? Like random different things like that will generally come up. So, and as I say that, let me pull my spreadsheet up here. Hold on. Today's 25th, right? That's the date.
Yes, sir.
I honestly started to dive into a couple questions in the chat too. So, I mean, if you were watching the Early Edge this morning or not, or if you're a Sportsline subscriber, it kind of because of the hat, I'm just going to ride with Trey Savage again. I mean, Miami sweeps the Mets. They hit the grand slam, to walk it off. But then you got to travel up to Toronto. You got to go through customs. Like there's certainly a bit of work that you have to do to get there. And now you're going to face a guy you've never seen before. It's an environment you generally are not playing in Toronto. I think the last time they would have played in Toronto would have been 2 years ago. But I'm not sure if the format had changed just yet. But now every team plays every team. They just flip-flop. So, if you play Miami in Toronto this year, you'll play them in Miami next year. So they wouldn't have played in Toronto last year. It would have been the year before. But like I said, I can't remember if that's the year that it changed. So this is really an environment they're not used to. It's a trip they're not used to making. It's a team that they're not used to seeing. It's a guy in Trey Savage who they're not used to seeing, never seen before. And so I'm like, you know what? 5.5 strikeouts again. He's been at that, 6 or more strikeout level in 4 straight starts now. And all 4 starts that he's been given a starter's workload, he has hit at least a 6 strikeout. The only thing, I guess, maybe the one caveat I worry about is you look into some of the underlying numbers. I think he's just using the fastball a little bit too much, but he's been getting strikeouts with it is the thing. Now, I will say this lineup here in the Marlins is definitely, one that you would not want to focus on the fastball for your strikeouts. He really needs to lean into that splitter a little bit more against the righties, the slider. But when I think about it, it's like, every projection I have, and I also played the over 15.5 outs, but every projection that I can corroborate together and look at here likes him to do well tonight. Honestly, I mean, the projections are 16.5 to 17 outs. It's the lowest strikeout projection I have is 5.8. Mine is in the mid 6s. Some of them I had even seen were up to 7. So I really think it's the over 5.5 for him and over 15.5 outs. I guess if one wins and one loses, you do take a small loss on the juice. But, if he has a solid start, you could very easily cash both of these. I also like Toronto -0.5 in the first 5, but just want to kind of see if Vlad is going to play today. The projection has him as if he is in there, but I will at least give, let's see here real quick. Roto Grinders, I'll give him a bit of credit here. They have him out. And I think he's probably out. Fangraphs has him in. I think he's probably out. I guess I haven't seen an official word, but I mean, you go for x-rays, you're likely going to be out. So that was my only thought with like maybe staying off Toronto, and you're losing your best bat from that order. Same thing with Jansen Junk under 17.5 outs for that game. I have some interest at plus money under 17.5 outs, but not only do they kind of weirdly seem to like push him, even if he stinks. Let's see here. Last couple starts, right? 5 2/3, and then 5 innings at 86 pitches, but he gave up 15 runs across those 2 starts. Even the start where he gave up 7 hits and 4 runs, it's still a full 6 innings. So, he really is getting a bunch of work regardless of if he is doing, well or not. And so I guess that's kind of the reason that I decided to fully stay off it, coupled with the fact that we may not have Vlad Jr. in there. So, Michael, thank you for being here. First off, he said, I love these extra shows. Thank you so much for giving us your time and thoughts. That is the best compliment I could get, because that's all I want to do is just be here and give you guys some time, give you my thoughts, and just, enjoy the MLB chatter while we have the time here today.
Tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, share.
Yeah. Hey, share. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please, that would be a huge win for me. I was at Squishy texted me. He said, "Oh, you're at 139 subscribers, like only 11 more to 150." I checked this morning. I'm at 138. I don't know what happened. Somebody unsubscribed. So someone might have like accidentally subscribed. I have no idea what happened or how that would have happened, but it might have just been a glitch too. I don't know, but yeah, trying to get to 150. We were trying to get to 100. Now we get to 150. If your grandma has a YouTube account, tell her, tell anyone the YouTube account.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go into the bodega, right? The corner store. They got the TV playing. It's YouTube. I know they have a YouTube subscription. Take the remote for a second and subscribe for me. You go over someone's house. They have YouTube on the Roku TV. Real quick, click on it. Subscribe for me. Yeah, experiencing churn at 100 under 150 subscribers is crazy.
Man, who did we lose?
And then here you go. You got a hockey nugget here from
Canadians
Scott.
money line. Yeah, all right. Kind of on the other. My heart is with the Canadians. I love the Canadians. They're my team when the Bruins are out. My family loves them. Again, you're going right into first, I think, home game for the Habs in Montreal. I think that this one's tough. I'm seeing more of Carolina become Carolina. They've, to me, been the best. Aside from their goalie, they've been the best team talent-wise overall. This is really hard. I kind of want to lean to the Hurricanes money line. I don't know. This could also go to overtime. I'm going to look at this a little more. Again, first game in Montreal, just like the last series and the one before that, that crowd is going to be bananas. However, they may have met, their match in terms of talent. And look, I could see this going to overtime, but I could also see the Carolina Hurricanes sort of clamping down. I have a little bit of a lean on the Hurricanes money line. I'd like to get that juice down. It's like minus 137. So playing Habs at plus money is not necessarily a terrible idea, but I think this one, if I had to pick a side, I would pick Carolina and maybe pick them live and get a boost and bring down that juice, but who knows? Yeah, Colorado going down 3-0, dude.
That's terrible.
That's the President's Trophy curse, man. Like these teams that have the best record in the regular season. Like it happened to the Bruins years ago too. Like maybe not like all time, but at least in the last 10 years, it's been really hard for teams that have won that President's Trophy to win the Stanley Cup. I kind of feel like they're going to lose this series. They may win one game. We saw it last night. Nathan McKinnon he got injured, but you can't be relying on just him for all of your scoring and all of your points. You know, they had another player that was injured too that I don't need to get into much, but like, I don't know. I think the Avs are done.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to talk about it because I have like 2 parlays that are riding on them. So that's really, really unfortunate. I mean, I don't, or at least I guess I should say, I didn't make those bets based upon like really thinking that they were going to win. I more so just felt like there was value in those moments when those numbers were still available. And same thing that I felt like there was value on San Antonio when that was still available. And so I have Avs, San Antonio, and then I had just run everything through the Dodgers to win the World Series at the end. So I have like 4 or 5 parlays. One has the Hurricanes, which will be all right. 2 of them have the Avs, and then the other 2 were like the previous series for the Avs and the Knights to win. So those are fine. But the 2, like the one that I really wanted was San Antonio to win the finals, Avs to win the West. So I don't even need them to win the whole thing, just needed them to win this series, and Dodgers to win the World Series. And that was, I couldn't even remember the odds off the top of my head, but it was incredible odds. Like like I said, there was value in those moments, especially on FanDuel when I did it. And they were, I still think they do this too. They're giving out like the 100% boost, right? So,
Right.
I just totally like my cash out was really solid on it. It's plus 14,563. So, I mean, it was, 25 to win 3,700. For something that, truthfully, Avs to win the West, Spurs had to win it all. And that was a bigger number. But then, I could have been holding Dodgers World Series for like 3,500 or so with a hedge.
With a hedge.
So yeah,
that would have been great.
Thanks, Avs. Thanks to the Avs.
Yeah. Before we move on, if we're talking about futures, so like this is where my sort of, it's been hard.
Scott, you're right. Hold on. Scott's right.
Get an America hat.
Hold on.
See,
I always match the pick to the hat generally. So yes, I did that for the show, but I probably should have taken it off after.
For those of you who don't know, this is the Springfield Thunderbirds hat. Well, it's the Springfield Isotopes, but it's an American AHL. It's the Massachusetts hockey team. So I think I did better than Amags.
I'm going to, Squishy, I'll give it to you for a second. I'm going to find a better hat here.
Go find a hat. Go find a hat. I have just going to mention my future. So why it's so difficult for me is because I have the Hurricanes that I put a responsibly large wager on at plus 850 to win the Cup. This was back on October 19th. So I got that going for me, and it makes it so hard to bet on the Habs. But I bet on them one game. I lost. I got the Knicks at plus 440 to win the Eastern Conference Finals. That one I placed on February 13th.
How about this one?
Ooh, that's good.
This is like the best possible hat you could have threw on for this moment.
Right. I think you win.
I went from fully one direction to the complete opposite direction here. So hopefully that makes everyone happy.
That's like you sitting in the going to a game wearing one uniform, and then you get like pressured into like taking it off and putting on the other team's uniform.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I have a Hurricanes to win the Stanley Cup at plus 850. And I got the Knicks at plus. If the Knicks win tonight, I get plus 440. I also have a plus 1,000 for them to win the championship. Anyway, I have a question for you, Amag. So for those folks who went on DraftKings and did the up too early promo, do you have any leans for that? We're trying to usually look for like an away team that's a dog, maybe can put up a couple runs and cash that slip.
So I saw these. It allows you to do it on any game today, right? Because sometimes they've given
Yep.
it to us where it's like the afternoon games.
Yep. This is any game. So I ended up actually choosing the 50% boost.
Okay. So
And
yeah, you had to choose. Yeah.
you got
Okay.
to choose because I was up this morning pretty early and I chose that and just sort of used that to bring down the Castillo under K to like a minus 106, which was really nice to have.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I
Yeah,
didn't do the up two promo.
I was planning on having that be my pick for the show this morning, but I was watching the price just move rather rapidly. So I went with you Savage instead. But yeah, now Castillo's down to 3.5. We'll say it's minus 170 for the fourth strikeout, but a pretty significant underdog now for that fifth strikeout. And I do agree with that. I actually think we might only see him for like a couple of innings. The only thing I thought that was really weird on Castillo, and then I will give you a 2-up idea, is that for I can't remember his name. Dan Wilson, is that the manager? Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong, but whatever his name is. The interview I was reading said that he was like, we had Bryce. Think about how ridiculous this sounds, right? We had Bryce Miller start last time, and maybe I can even pull it up. We had Bryce Miller start last time, and so this time, and Castillo relieved and had trouble in his third inning of relief. Dan Wilson, I was right. This time, he goes, I want it to be the most equitable possible. So I'm going to have Castillo start and Bryce Miller coming after him. In what Castillo's been terrible. In what world? And I get that maybe he had, some success in those first 2 innings in the relief start, right? But like the reason he's become a reliever is because he hasn't been good. And now you're worrying about it being most equitable among two people. They're players.
It sounds like 6-year-olds.
Yeah, like I guarantee it's just like a veteran contract, been one of our main starters type of a thing. Because I really don't understand how they're going to get off saying like we're starting Luis Castillo simply so that it is the most equitable among Castillo and Miller. It makes no sense to make things equitable if they have completely different performances every time they go out now. I mean, Miller's been great in the first 2 times he's pitched. So I really don't understand why that's the move that they're making. That really kind of threw me for a loop, maybe making me think he's going to get more run than just a few innings as an opener because they want it to be equitable and he should have a start and Miller should have a relief outing now. But like Miller was great. Miller covered a bunch of innings. I think it was 5+ innings, right? So like, why are we worrying about equitability in this case? I think that if Luis Castillo gets into like any trouble, he should be gone very quickly. And even if he doesn't get into trouble, if he goes more than 4 innings here, I'm really going to be surprised. I think we might even see like 2 innings. And that's if he's good. Maybe they do give him that 3rd inning and hey, he's been good for 3 innings. We're going to give him a 4th. I don't know if you let him get that much further than that. So maybe Scott Tyler, our resident Mariners fan, can tell me, if he feels any differently or has heard anything differently. I just really thought that was weird. That was one of the first times I had really heard a manager say, like, we're trying to do things, so it's most equitable for the both of them. Not the time or place to be using what's most equitable for a veteran starter if he's not performing. I saw someone in here mention the Rockies as their up 2 promo.
Love it.
I think
Prasant did.
Yeah, with these up 2 promos, you really could dive deeper into it to say like price and winning percentage, projected winning percentage. That's the best way to do it. Just looking at them at face value, though, like obviously that price for the Rockies, almost plus 300 here, plus 266. I wouldn't even be surprised if that number goes down just because of the promo, if people are putting their money on that one. So just at face value, I think that's where I would put mine if we're allowed to use all the games, the night games as well. But if you were, I guess here, let me see. Let's just go to money line real quick.
That's also a game that I'd be looking at for the. I think there's a lot of people that look at the Dodgers team total and a lot of overs there. I'm looking at that as a potential because I know DraftKings also has a couple 25% live boosts today. The odds just have to be minus 200 or longer. If I can get over 8.5 for the full game on that, it's like minus 128 or so right now on DraftKings, or at least last time I checked. If I can get that live and bring down the juice and get a playable 8.5, I'm going to click it because Sheehan's not necessarily awesome. And
that's kind of my thought, right? Like he's good, but I like him for strikeouts a lot more than like run prevention, if that makes sense.
Exactly. He's actually one of he's Littell is like obviously the resident turkey tosser. He's got like 15 already, but Sheehan's given up 9. That's
actually
right
was that high. Damn.
That's right up there with Savali and Liberatore or Liberator. I mean, it's up there, and you give up a couple dongs, even the first, or one dong in the first. Jesus, what am I saying? One dinger in the first
dong
inning.
Can work.
Sure. And then we got ourselves an up too early dub, and then bottom of the inning, Shohei will hit his home runs and whatever. You keep going. Now we're on or over. I like that play. I mean, like, what's there to lose on a plus
it's
money?
Such a massive price. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. They have the lowest win probability of the day at 20%. So like it makes for, probably a number that like should be even worse than this. But for that promo specifically, like that's where my eyes are drawn to immediately. Like I said, if you really wanted to do it out, I would just do it. Projected win percentage, then take each of those prices. Generally, I would just take the dogs because, in my opinion, I'm not playing that promo to play a favorite. But if you do it would be a very easy thing to do. Just do the win probability of each team compared to the price, right? And just kind of see, if you have any differences between. You could use Fangraph's model. It's on their website. I mean, it would be very easy to do. Ballpark Pal, whoever you want. Like, just look at some of those preliminarily and say, this is what they project as the winning percentage. Maybe higher scoring games would be a bit better to look at too for this promo, right? You have, more scoring and easier ability to get to 2 runs. And, if it's a large underdog, like if you look in this Dodgers game, I guess projecting over 9 runs, you have a really big underdog in the game, but you also have a higher total, projected total. So then it's like, okay, there's one where you are going to have more runs. You definitely have more of an opportunity to get to 2 runs. And then all of a sudden, the game still goes the way the model predicts and the Dodgers winning. So I think that it's probably the Rockies for me, or price on this one.
266, man, that's great.
I actually almost think like the Twins against Anthony K. Like if the Twins, if Zebby Matthews is good against the White Sox offense for a couple of innings, you could have the Twins just grab a couple of runs there against Anthony K. I think they're minus 114. Okay. Yeah, I think I would stay off the Cubs with Miz, but the angle there would be if you can get to Miz as the Cubs offense, the Brewers offense has not done much against lefties. So Liberatore could just have a, menial start, I guess you would say. Let's say Liberatore 3 shutout innings to start the game and Miz just has a little hiccup, but still pitches well. Like it could very easily be 2-0 quickly, or even like the D-backs here, plus 115 or so against Roop. If Merrill Kelly is, once again, just solid for a few innings, Roop is liable to give up some home runs. I don't think I would back Lodolo, but that's another one where somebody asked me about McLean this morning, and I'm almost starting to maybe be a little bit troubled with him, I guess I would say. Like, I think it was 3 out of his last 4, at least 3 earned runs allowed, and it was 6 last time, I believe. So I think I'll stay off that one. But it's more so because I have to back Lodolo than have to go up against McLean. Although, hey, that Mets offense is one you could shut out.
For sure.
That Mets offense is definitely one you could shut out.
I mean, you know,
Nationals, this is another option.
That's what I was just looking at. Nationals could be something because, look, like it's, you know, Littell has to pitch in the bottom of the inning.
The only thing with this Nationals game here, and I was looking at this last night, actually, I remember now. Bybee has just been like far better against lefties, and this Nationals team, when they face a righty, I feel like they just push all the lefties that they possibly can into the order, and it doesn't always seem like they look at the splits, because like this is a day where they actually should push maybe a couple more righties into the order. I mean, 29 hits in 27 innings against righties, 25 in 32 and a third against lefties. Now, 5 homers against lefties. You know, he has pitched more innings against lefties, but 5 against lefties is more. And then 13 walks against lefties in that time too. So there's definitely, I guess, a bit more like in the power department. Yeah, there's a bit more to be happy about, but still, I mean, it's only 17 strikeouts in 27 innings against righties with the 29 hits in there, 8 walks. Like, he's allowed a bunch more production to right-handed batters. I would, I guess, projection on the lineup wise, I would think they're going to go lefty heavy, but let's just see what it projects. Projects 2 righties, Dylan Cruz and Jacob Young. Everybody else is a lefty. And I wouldn't even be surprised if you see like a random extra lefty. Keibert Ruiz, not going to play? Projected to not play today? Okay. I would love to see him in there, but Drew Milas. But sometimes guys just throw to different catchers for some reason, so that could be something that I'm missing there too. But it looks like, I mean, Keibert Ruiz is one of their better hitters, so if he's out of the lineup, that would definitely hurt them a little bit. Projected to be out of the lineup right now, at least. Mariners are in Sacramento, fixes a lot of hitting issues, which I think is in response to Scott saying Mariners are in shambles right now.
They're rough.
And see, the thing is, like, so I do like some of the A's props. Someone mentioned Nick Kurtz. When you look at Luis Castillo against lefties, that's definitely the side that, at least from a home run perspective, I would want to go up against. 24 innings, 27 hits, 5 home runs, 276 average. It's actually been worse to righties, but the home runs have come to lefties. It's the only thing is, like, if they bring Miller in after like 2 innings, I guess I would kind of be like, damn, like now you got a guy that's on the home team. He's facing, a solid bullpen, and he's facing a solid starter who has really not given up much production over those first 2 starts. That starts to worry me then. 190 against lefties for Miller versus 250 against righties. It's a very small sample size, but just one hit of difference could give you that difference there. It is a home run to righties as well. So we probably can't look at too much of the splits there. Has
Bryce Miller learned how to pitch on the road yet? He historically has had these wacky splits where he's terrible on the road.
I will say the start in Houston was worse. He gave up 8 hits and 5 1/3 versus 1 hit and 5 2/3. But I will say as well, that was versus Houston with a healthier lineup. I think Jordan and Jose Altuve were in there for that game. They were. Versus a White Sox lineup that we've seen go off, and then we've seen have some really tough offensive performances. But yes, in those two different splits, once again, he was much better at home. I wouldn't be surprised if he struggles more in Sacramento, but the thought is like, how much I would rather have Luis Castillo. How much Luis Castillo are we going to get if we're betting on those hitters? I truthfully, it looks like every freaking projection system's all over the place too. Like kind of nobody knows what to do with this start today. The only thing I guess we all agreed on was like 4.5 strikeouts was probably too high. So
that and equality is for T-ball.
Yeah, so I mean, the 4.5 strikeouts, minus 177, minus 170 now, or worse for him, or it's at 3.5. So I guess that's really the only thing we've agreed upon here today, is that maybe that number is too high. But it seems like nobody else knows how much work he's going to. I mean, nobody could tell you how much work he's going to get today. But I do like Nick Kurtz in that opportunity.
Gus, that's funny. That's really piece of candy. I don't know if you ever seen that bit on Family Guy. They always trap James Woods, the actor, with like Reese's Pieces. You got to see it. This is one of those situations where if you had it queued up as a clip, it would be perfect.
That's my bad. I should have had that.
Come on.
I should have had that queued up. That's my bad. That's my bad. If you guys do want to look at something here with me, though, we had a question on Will Warren, I think. Will Warren on the strikeout. So hopefully that answered everyone's questions. This is very funny from Scott. He says, I would take a Mariner loss tonight for Castillo to get absolutely blasted, put an end to this piggyback garbage. Yeah, I do agree. I do definitely agree with that. I hope he gets blasted too, because then he just leaves the game early and I don't have to worry about any sweat on the strikeouts under. I mean, 4.5 is not a high line. Don't get me wrong. So it's it definitely, it's one you worry about a little bit, but it's one that I think you just had to play, especially at the price when it came out. Kind of confirmed by the market already, but here you go.
So
from this, real quick, this is from big time Tigers fan Rob.
Yes.
Little plus 100. I'm sure these are alternate lines then. Plus 100. Bridget Carlton, 2+ 3-pointers made, and then Brianna Stewart, 8+ rebounds. I will say, we faded Stewart, I think, on the early edge this morning. Might have been for points. Not 100%.
I think it was points. It might have been points.
So is there questions about how much she's going to play tonight? I think that's what they were saying. So Rob, let us know if you have any take on that. And then I do want to mention this from Rob as well. He says Machado still hits lefties for power, 2+ hit run RBI, plus 112. The only thing with that is like Luzardo, obviously can be very good as well as very bad. And you are on the home team here, a guy that's generally, a little bit pushed down in the order. Beyond that, I totally agree. I mean, I think the only Machado's on my fantasy team. I think he was 1 or 2 for like 20 something this week, but like the one was a home run. I'm pretty sure it was off a lefty. So it's, it's a little bit of a crapshoot in my opinion. I actually was looking at Luzardo's strikeouts. I kind of am a bit surprised some of the projections don't like him more. I will say, I think maybe it's due to some of the recent, like some of his numbers recently have taken a little bit of a hit. Swinging strike rate is down. If you look at him, let me pull him back up here. If you look at Luzardo this season, started the season, 5 of his first 7 starts, he hit 7 or more strikeouts. The 2 that he missed was a 8-run, 12 hits allowed, terrible start against the Cubs, struck out 4. The start right after that was also against the Cubs when he struck out 3 in 4 2/3 innings. So In those first 7 starts for Luzardo this year, the only misses that he had on 7 or more strikeouts were against the Cubs. Now, fast forward to May, he started off Miami 6 1/3, 10 strikeouts, and since then, against Colorado, only 3 innings, 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, a home run allowed, gave up a bunch of production, a bunch of base runners, struck out 6 in 3 innings. And then he went 4 and 5 in the last 2, but he pitched much better in those 2. Quality start in each, 6+ innings, 3 or less earned runs. He went 6 innings, no runs against Boston at Boston with only 4 strikeouts. So I almost think maybe he's potentially doing something different. I really haven't, dove into the specific pitch mix per start too drastically, but that's one that I was looking at for taking over. Again, the projections really didn't like him, but any slate that he's on, like he makes, like any day he pitches, he makes for a high strikeout upside kind of a guy. Always has the potential. The flip side of it is that the Padres really have not faced many lefties.
No,
they are one of the lowest teams here. If you look at, let's just say, even if we pull it back to like the last week of April as well, get some larger sample sizes for some of these teams now. Over 300 or over 280, over 270 for sample sizes against lefties. San Diego, barely gets over 200. And if you look at them since the start of May, it's like 180 at bats or plate appearances, with a near 25% strikeout rate. So they definitely have struck out a good bit when they face those lefties. But at the same time, like if you're not facing a ton of lefties, it becomes kind of tough to like keep your timing. It becomes a bit more tough. So I will say they faced in the last couple of weeks here 2 lefties, but in May they faced 5. Noah Schultz, Anthony Kay, Matthew Liberatore, Kyle Harrison, and Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs was really the only one that didn't grab strikeouts, and Noah Schultz there at the start of the month. But the other 3 were 5, 6, 7. I mean, Anthony Kay to strike out 5 in 5 innings, Liberatore 6 in 6 innings, and Harrison 7 in 5 innings. Those were pretty strong strikeout performances. You also had, before that, you had Matthew Boyd with 4 in 4 innings. I think that's when he left the game early or injured or whatnot. Maybe not. 4 in 4 innings. Then you had Yusei Kikuchi with 8 in 6 innings. So, I mean, that's going back to the middle of April. You've had, definitely some more solid strikeout performances, at least 1 strikeout per inning type performances. If you're going to get 6 innings from Luzardo, you're probably going to be around that 6th strikeout. And, it's plus odds for the 7th one. So I was looking at that one thinking, you know what? Even if the projections, and this is kind of, I guess, how you have to look at things sometimes, like even if the projections, like Fangraphs has him at 5.6, like my own numbers even have him as like the 4th or 5th option, around 6 strikeouts. Like nobody's really getting to a 7th strikeout here for projections on Luzardo. I think it's maybe more so due to some of the recent stuff we've seen. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're getting a positive shift for this pitcher in terms of ballpark. You're getting a lineup that hasn't seen a lot of lefties. You're getting a lineup that has struggled to not strike out against lefties. If you want to look at the entirety of the season, or even just go to like the 1st of April, 24%, they're 8th in the MLB, but they have significantly less at bats than everyone else. They have 331 plate appearances, I should say. 331 plate appearances, as compared to the other teams that are in that top 10 at 470, 522, 505, 546, 506. The other 2 that are in the 300s are 385 and 376 for Texas and the Reds, who are both above 25% strikeout rate. And then you get 592, 598 for LA and the Yankees. So like they are just so far behind in terms of how much they've literally seen the ball out of left-handed pitchers' hands. And I think that might do them in tonight. So, think about Luzardo for the 7th strikeout.
I think the books may agree with you, Amags. And I agree with you, which means less. But I saw this morning with the lefty, with the pit, with the park shift, and I hit the over 6.5 at plus 120 on DraftKings.
Nice.
It's still plus money. It's plus 109 on DraftKings, plus 106 on FanDuel, plus 105 on MGM. For everything that you said, that's why I played. And then I did another Yikes parlay, which is good for Memorial Day. I think you should have fun. Because some of these strikeout lines are very high today, man.
Yeah.
But I played a 6-7-8 on MGM. So 6 strikeouts for Jesus Luzardo, 7 strikeouts for Nolan McLean, and 8 strikeouts for The Miz.
So hold on, I'm gonna put it on a banner. Say that again.
Yeah. 6-7-8. 6 strikeouts, 6 plus strikeouts for Luzardo. 7 plus strikeouts for McLean on the Mets, and 8 strikeouts for The Miz on the Brewers. And that got me close to plus 300, plus 298 on MGM, and I was able to boost it to plus 357.
Nice.
It's a fun little parlay.
So there you go. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
Luzardo, McLean, and Miz 6-7-8. Yeah, I totally agree with you that when I look at like almost every strikeout line that's out there today, with the Savage one, I thought obviously it's been 5.5 for like 3 or 4 straight starts now, so might be 3, but like that one made sense, and I hit the over. Similarly, on Luzardo, I think, maybe the price should be a little bit worse on 6.5, right? Like maybe it should be a minus 105 or a minus 110. I haven't exactly looked at what the number projects at here, but just looking at, kind of everything else and situationally included, that was one that I did like. But honestly, the McLean one, the Miz one, let me give you the rest here. McLean, Miz, Emmett Sheehan, Kyle Bradish, Ben Brown, Shane McClanahan, Will Warren, like all of those that I just mentioned, I think are 1 strikeout too high.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you could just bet the under, but I will say there's, some good strikeout names in there. And then as you're betting those unders, the hitting environments are worse here today. So they're going to help pitchers. And, there's a lot of extra variables. And like I said, I don't love betting on unders. I try to do it when it makes sense. Like Castillo today, I think you just had to play the under 4.5. And if you lose, you lose. But like, very similarly, the other day, what did I play? Oh, Garrett Cole under 17.5 outs in his first start back off the IL. He beat me. He completed 6 innings, but like I would make that bet 100 out of 100 times. And so sometimes, I play those unders, but I think when they make sense, a lot of times playing the overs, trying to capture some upside on guys that I think are either in a good spot. They have a lot of upside. There's a mixture of different things. Luzardo is one of those guys today. Miz is another one. Same thing with McLean, where it's like those lines are, I think, 1 strikeout too high. I probably won't fade either of them because like they very easily could go off as well. They have some really good strikeout stuff. Miz especially. I'm a little suspect on McLean. But like those, the one I mentioned on Saturday, Skeens, was at 6.5. It was minus 122 for the over, minus 108 for the under. Once Akamoto was out of the lineup, confirmed out of the lineup, I was like, I like the under 6.5, but I'm not going to fade Paul Skeens. Like in my opinion, that's just not how I want to bet. Yeah, it would have been, smart to fade the under 6.5 and take the minus 108, which at that point, then it did flip. You saw the minus 120 or so get to the other side, which we thought would happen. But first off, that's kind of no fun. Second off, yes, you can, make money that way, but I do think there's better pitchers to fade rather than Paul Skeens, where like if he had 2 good innings, if he just had 2 solid innings to come out of the gate instead of, what we saw from him, and I'm talking strikeout wise, like he could easily run over that total and have it be an accident. So in that spot, again, it didn't really make for an over, and we saw that. But I don't bet too many times where I'm really fading a very solid strikeout talent like a Mizorowski or like a Skeens or even like a guy like a Luzardo or someone like that, who generally they do strike out a good amount, or they have some higher swinging strike rates, that kind of stuff. You've really got to get me to a point where I'm like, okay, I have to fade that guy. Miz this year, almost 18%. Sorry, that was since the start of May. Miz, hey, that would be crazy too, though. And I was gonna say, like, I really don't think he's that far off, but it is, still crazy. Yeah, he isn't that far off for the season. 17.3 on the swinging strike. You get Emmett Sheen at 15%. Like we said, we like him for the strikeouts a lot of times. You Savage, 14.6% in 25 innings, 112 on the stuff plus. And I mentioned he's been using the fastball way more than he did last year. I would like for him to lean into that splitter a little bit more today, because I think he's going to need it. But been leaning on the fastball a lot more. So, some of those numbers being as high as they are with a higher fastball usage is impressive. And then, you got other guys in there like Luzardo, and even McClanahan is up there above 12%, right? So there's a lot of guys that up in that upper tier where I'm just kind of like, I won't fade them too often on the strikeouts.
Hey, Amags, it's getting towards the top of the hour. Do you want to maybe touch on a couple of fun little things, home run props that people have posted here before we get out of here?
Yeah, what are we thinking about home runs? We got this Luke Raley one given to us. We've got Shea Langoliers. We've got Kyle Schwarber. Who do we like the most for home runs today? Give us your
thoughts. Picks.
The one thing I will mention is that there is like no good home run hitting weather out there, really. So today might not be the day to go all that deep with betting a bunch of home runs. You do get some warmer weather. It looks like, mid 70s in Baltimore. Chicago, KC, you do get mid 80s. So we'll see, that might be the park to kind of look at. Let us know what you guys think for home runs.
If you want to know the top turkey tossers that are out pitching today, of course, we got Zach Littell for Washington. He's got 15 this year. Liberatore, we talked about. St. Louis, he's given up 9. Savali for the A's has given up 9. Sheehan for the Dodgers has given up 9. Junk for the Marlins, 8. Waka, I want to touch on Waka. Well, I missed his outs line, man. He had an outs line that like overnight or early this morning at 15.5. I don't know why I didn't play it. Now it's up to 17.5. And I missed my opportunity.
I think I saw it at 16 this morning. But I will say, I've got a sneaky suspicion that Waka might get toasted here. I
hope so.
I think the Yankees have seen Waka enough. And when I look at some of the hard hit stuff, it's like damn near every guy in their lineup had at least a hard hit ball against him last time they faced him. Like, I mean, Ben Rice here, home run and fly out, both hit hard. Aaron Judge, I know I saw someone saying in the chat he's been dominated by Waka, but truthfully, over the last 2 years, Judge has 3 hits in five at bats. He has a walk in there, so it's 6 plate appearances. He's got a single, 2 singles, a double, only 1 strikeout, a walk, and a fly out. He's hit 2 balls hard, one of them at 108 miles an hour. The other 2 that he hit were 93 and 94 miles an hour, so those were just barely not hit hard. The walk and the strikeout happened earlier this year, but as well as a ringing double, 96 mile an hour exit velo early in the game on the first pitch he saw. Right. If you go to Trent Grisham back in April when they faced him, 102 and 99 were the exit velocities on the 2 balls that he hit hard. 91 was the other one, but he made 3 outs. Right. Like it almost feels like there's a little volcano rumbling here with the Yankees against Michael Waka. So, Jazz as well, 92 mile an hour fly ball. Stayed in the yard, but went 305 feet. If you look at him last year against Waka, and he had 2 walks in there as well with that fly ball. If you look at him against Waka last year, another 102, 400 football that was a fly out. I just don't, you get Jose Caballero back in the lineup too, most likely here for the Yankees. That speaks to me a little bit. If you look at Wells too, I mean, Wells 102-mile-an-hour fly out, 362 feet in that game. Like, Waka gave up a bunch of hard hits in that game and kind of escaped. I just think that he may have some issues. And of course, at that moment that I'm talking about,
what is that logo, man? Come on. I got one home run dark horse.
Yep.
Okay. So if you saw yesterday's game, Travis Bazzana barreled the crap out of a ball.
Okay.
He hit the long ball, 3 or 4, top of the order for the Guardians, left-handed batter, facing off against Littell. Carry over the power from yesterday. I don't know what the number is. I want to find it. It's
1,000 something, probably. Come on.
Some good odds. Good odds. Let's see what we got here. We got,
because you're facing Littell, it probably isn't, but
Bazzana is plus 600 on MGM.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if it's because DraftKings has it a little worse, but it might be a little bit better if we look at. Oh, are we getting an opener again for Zach Littell here?
Oh God, don't
ruin the fun. I see Poulin on FanDuel. What are they talking about? Let me see.
They're giving a line for Littell. Oh, yeah, you're right. Littell's strikeout line is 2.5.
Okay, where is the freaking Nationals here? Hold on.
Dude,
opener PJ Poulin and then Zach Littell.
Yeah,
as the bulk is what we're looking at here. I like.
I ran out of powder.
I like this comment too. Fading Bradish. Yeah, fading Bradish here today with Tampa Bay. I like that look.
I don't trust either pitcher in that matchup. Both pitchers in that matchup faced the same team less than a week ago.
And so that's what I was going to say. Like, my projections actually like McClanahan, but the reason I had stayed off of it, like, it projects him near 17 outs, over 6 strikeouts, like well over 6 strikeouts. I just kind of don't buy that he's going to do it. He had 6 strikeouts last time against this team. I just don't buy that he's going to have that level of success as the numbers think. But hey, you know what? Maybe I'm totally wrong, and he does.
Daniel Greer, welcome. I looked at J-Rod. I looked at J-Rod for a home run as well. He's got a good head-to-head batter versus pitcher against Aaron Savali. He does seem to have splits that favor the other side, though. Let me bring this up real quick. So Aaron Savali, go on.
I was going to say, I like the Rumfield one, honestly. I mean, Rumfield's been significantly better against righties. 7 homers in 147 at bats here against right-handed pitching, and you go to the other side with Emmett Sheehan. Let me pull it up back up here. Hold on. And that was the worst side of his split as well. He's given up 7 home runs in 24 innings against left-handed batters. So I wish Mickey Moniak was in there because I would be all over Moniak. But I do like the Rumfield one, ex-Yankee farmhand right there. Shout out Brian Cashman for trading him for a bag of balls.
I think that game might be good to look for total home runs.
Okay. I bet you that the total home runs are generally at 1.5. I mean, sometimes you get 2.5, but I wouldn't suspect this would be a game you would see 2.5 total in. Wow, it is -105 to the over. Wow. I would have thought it was like minus 150 for over 1.5. So that's a good sign there for the home run hitting in that game for sure. Then is that it's already up to 2.5.
Yep. Well, I think they both have both pitchers have the propensity to give up the long ball. All right, so J-Rod, he's a right-handed batter up against the right-handed Aaron Savali, but he's got a 6 of 15 with a home run against him. The only thing that is tricky here for me it's a home run, so like I'd love to plus money all day. His splits, so I believe that this year so far, J-Rod's splits have been better against lefties versus righties.
Yeah, the only thing with Tanner Gordon, so Gordon gave up 3 homers last time against this Dodgers team earlier in the year, April 20th. I think I would be willing to bet one was against Kyle Tucker. No, oh, Kyle Tucker wasn't even in the lineup that day. Damn. Well, gave up 3 home runs. Let's see who they were to. Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas. Gave up 3 home runs? 3 home runs in relief. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. So it wasn't Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas. It was, looks like Dalton Rushing, Max Muncy, and Dalton Rushing. So Dalton Rushing twice. I wonder if Rushing is going to play because I think he played yesterday. Probably doesn't play today, but he had 2 homers off Gordon last time. So that's interesting where Tucker wasn't in the lineup, kind of trading him out for the other lefty that obviously not position-wise, but, Rushing hit the 2 homers last time. We're going with Tucker here with Daniel Greer. I like that.
Go check out his video. He's got the long ball on the weekday wagers.
This is a good thing to say too. So we have had people in Discord betting Luke Raley, which fine, bet Luke Raley. I have no but he's a lot of times he's pulled like halfway through the game once a lefty comes in. So
yeah,
why not, if you're going to bet his home run or you think Luke Raley has a chance to go deep today, you obviously are going to have to keep an eye on the game, I guess, unless you want to go to MGM. But just bet like the first at bat home run. And then when he comes up a second time, bet it again. You might not even get a third at bat. So it's like, why bet the full game if you're not going to have him hit for the full game? Just bet the at bat markets. You're going to get a better price on it anyways. So yeah, okay, yes, Tanner Gordon has allowed 6 home runs. The only thing to mention about that is they've been predominantly at home. The only home run allowed on the road so far has been in Cincinnati, which, as we know, another great hitting ballpark. You're getting a night game in LA, generally, one of the tougher hitting environments. I believe so. Let me corroborate that really quick. Actually, even on the Overcast system, it has it like slightly. So I think I might have had it flipped, but it has it slightly over MLB average. But it's like 3%. We've talked about this before. It's not like the weather there is going to help a ton. I will at least say, we always talk about like the cherry on top. You have double-digit wins, 10-mile-an-hour winds or so pushing out, so that'll at least help. I just wish Gordon would give up more home runs on the road, I guess I would say, because the start in Philly, he didn't give up any. I guess they weren't starts. He was pitching in relief, so maybe there's an element of that. But 3 innings and 4 innings in Philly and Pittsburgh didn't give up any home runs, whereas when he pitched against Atlanta at home, when he pitched against Texas at home, and LA at home, there was 5 home runs allowed in those 3 games versus just 1 on the road. So that would be the only thing. I think I really like the TJ Rumfield one. I was already looking at Castillo with the 5 homers against lefties. Just don't know how much we're going to see of him. Obviously, Zach Littell, who on the split. It's lefties for him.
Kirk Schroyer has Yandy Diaz plus 610.
Yandy Diaz plus 610.
He says Fading
against
Bradish, 28 walks, 51 hits, and 52 in third innings. Yandy.
Yeah, I mean, 3 homers in 16 innings versus 3 homers in 34 innings when facing a righty versus a lefty. A lot of those walks coming to lefties. Not and in terms of numbers, but actually walk rate wise, it looks like it's worse to righties. That would be the only thing. Maybe you're losing that bat to a walk. That always does kind of stink. I think there's also some weather in Baltimore. Yeah, weather from Kevin Roth. He said models are showing a persistent cluster of light rain around Baltimore for most of the day. Realistically, the chance of it being a huge problem is slim, but not impossible if it sets up over the ballpark. He said he's going to kind of have it as like a yellow warning. The yellow is his code for saying like he said, I don't really know, but I think it works out. He said he'll look at the radar before first pitch. Yeah,
that could make for some thick air.
It probably does work out. Well, no, actually, you're going to get the humidity's bumped up. It's going to be great. It's going to be thin air. When you have the more humid air, that's when it's thinner. Thicker is when it gets less humid. I mean, you have 80% humidity there with some rain around. That'll certainly help the ball travel a little bit. You're going to get mid 70s. That might be the spot for home runs for sure.
Home runs, the ball will travel.
Yeah, that might be the spot for sure. I like that. You might get like a Pete Alonso as well.
Let's see. Anything else here? We got
I think like if you're looking for home runs, I think it's probably I was looking at those 2 late games just because of when I have to post the article by. Mondays I generally do a couple of home run bets. But just with you generally aren't allowed to do day games. So because it has to have like a certain amount of time up on the website. So I was looking at the 2 late games, the Castillo Miller concoction or whatever it is, but in Sacramento, and then Emmett Sheehan's home run problems. I actually hadn't really gone too far on Tanner Gordon because they weren't popping in. Because what I have, like, it'll section it out by home and away. So, like, they wasn't really pulling in that he had many home run issues. And especially if you're looking at Coors, Dodger or Rockies pitchers outside of Coors is what I like to look at if they're not pitching there. So I was really just focused on Sheehan. But I do think that there's something to be said about Tanner Gordon and his home runs as well. Jeff, give us whatever Yankee hate you've got.
Buddy,
I'm pulling something up, a video from the Yankees that I want to show before we head out.
I have 3 absolute bangers for you right now. Just absolute bangers. I'm going with day baseball, and I'm targeting a first at bat strikeout. I've got a guy that has faced a pitcher today. He's 1 for 19 against this pitcher with an 0.53 batting average. And in those 19 at bats, Amags, guess how many times he struck out? 12 times.
12.
In those 19 at bats. Who
is it?
We're going Aaron Judge, first at bat strikeout, plus 250. Buddy, that's like 95% of the time he's striking out. I don't know what 12 for 19
I will
is.
say plus 250. I do like that.
Right?
But it goes back to my point that I think people are using these old stats from Michael Wacha against the Yankees that are not as relevant anymore. Like, you realize that in the last 3 years, Aaron Judge has struck out once against Michael Wacha.
But when you've struck out 12 of not, he's batting 0.53 and his his on base percentage is 0.53. So it's just the hit. He's not walking against him either.
Yeah, but those stats are coming from
results. Yeah, that's how you get stats. The results.
You're talking about stats that were like COVID time. Like when you look at him between
even better, he hasn't faced him in a while.
He faced him in April.
Oh, great. And what did he do in April? How many strikeouts?
He had 1. He had a double in the first at bat.
All we need him to do is do it in the first at bat.
Well, he had a double in the first at bat.
So that's his only hit in his career against Michael Wacha was in the last time he faced him. That's the only hit.
you missed it when I said earlier in his last 6 plate appearance, even if you want to say 7, if you want to go back to the last one from 2024, but last 6 in the last 2 years, he's got 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double. He's got pretty much 4 hard hit baseballs, one strikeout, and a walk.
Oh, he hit it hard. Oh, he hit it hard. Great foul ball. This guy.
But he hasn't been striking out. Is the point? He hasn't been striking out. Right. The strikeouts come from 2021 and 2022 predominantly, when he went strikeout, right. ground out, strikeout, ground out, strikeout, ground out.
I'll tweet at you when he strikes out in his first at bats. Don't worry.
Hey, if Michael Wacha makes an adjustment, then he probably will strike him out. But if he throws him that freaking cutter in the middle of the plate again, first pitch, the double probably happens again.
Right. Second banger number 2. Same game, Michael Wacha for 6 strikeouts plus 115. All he's got to do
I think that's a play I can get behind.
All he's got to do is get through the lineup to the top of the order 3 times. Judge is striking out 3 times today. He's been whiffing all week, right? So all he's got to do is face Judge 3 times and find 3 other Yankees to strike out to get to 6 strikeouts. That's easy.
So you think he gets through the order 3 times then?
Well, he's only got to get through the order twice and then get to the top of the order for a 3rd Judge at bat, and that's his 3rd strikeout.
So then are you betting Judge 3 strikeouts at plus 870?
I'm going to bet it every time he comes up today. And all I got to do is hit it once to be profitable.
I thought his 3 plays were going to be Judge to strike out first at bat, Judge to strike out second at bat, Judge to strike out third at bat.
No, even Amags likes the Wacha strikeout. 6 strikeouts plus 116.
I really don't even dislike the fact that like you want to bet the first at bat strikeout for Judge. He's been rough of late.
How many strikeouts did he have last week?
I need to have people stop using these stats on Michael Wacha that are from freaking COVID. Like, stop.
Results
it's crazy.
Results, friends. Your career
we're using stats from 5 years ago on this guy.
Your career is what your career is. That's just what
Michael
it is.
Wacha didn't even throw the same pitches back that like he's
right. So Aaron Judge really hasn't seen the new stuff. Even better for me.
This is awesome.
Judge is going to strike out in this first at bat too, but I'm just saying we have to.
So you're shitting on the play, but then you're also agreeing with me.
We have to look at when these numbers happen. We have to look at when the numbers come from. I can't stand when we're using stats from like so long ago.
Hey,
that is my only
what his career numbers are
with what you're saying.
How many times did he strike out last week? He went like 3 straight games where every at bat was a strikeout. I think
Michael Wacha probably strikes out 6 batters. I don't even doubt that. He's went for 6, 5, and 8 the last 3 starts.
And if you want the money to place those 2 bets, got one for because that's a 3:00 game. But if you need the money to place those bets, here's the bet that'll get you going. We're going to the Swedish Allsvenskan.
Oh my God.
Malby, team total over 1.5 at plus 140.
These fake teams.
Banger.
Who are these are fake teams. These aren't real teams. Swedish Allsvenskan.
How do you know they're fake? Have you been to Sweden?
Oh man.
I've been to Sweden.
I've heard Bucket say Swedish Allsvenskan.
So Swishy knows it's a real team.
Some of those teams,
but I've been to Sweden.
They give out are fake. Some of those teams they talk about are fake. Maybe not these. I'm convinced some of those teams Buckets gives out are just fake. Those are not real.
Yankees lineups out.
So you can just get down $10, right, on Malby, right? You'll turn that into 25.
Mm-hmm.
You can bet the Judge first at bat strikeout. All of a sudden, you're got 75.
Nice,
right?
I don't dislike
the ladder. Yeah, those are the 3 plays: Wacha strikeouts, Judge first at bat strikeout plus 250, and Malby in the Swedish Allsvenskan plus 115. Yes, it's got a J in there too. It's a weird Swedish name, but it's their team total over 1.5 is plus 140. That's a banger too.
All right.
Now, with that being said, I must now go clean the grill. I got some people coming by at 1. Burgers and dogs will be ready. You guys want to come by? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
We can all bet Aaron Judge together.
It's going to happen now. I know it. It's just
when you and I were texting with each other last week, he was in the middle of a 3-game streak where, like, literally, I'm not even, did he strike out 12 times in a row during that streak? Over, like, it was over like 4 games.
It might have been
or
like over
it
a 3-game, four. It would have been 4-game at that point, probably.
Right, but he had that one game he struck out 4 times. And then the game before that, you and I were texting, and he had like 1 ground out, but with the 3 strikeouts, because he struck out against the reliever that came in.
We have some people coming to Bucket's aid saying they are not fake. Well, to me, they feel fake because we can't bet a lot of those in New York. Like all those weird like soccer leagues, like they don't let us bet like any of them.
Even better, I don't want to help New Yorkers.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Gus literally says these soccer books outside of New York are crazy. Exactly.
Gus is going to help me. I don't know what the hell a Zweigel is. What the hell is a Zweigel to put on the grill?
I like the first letter. Sounds delicious.
All right. Well, if there's
this is America. It's burgers and dogs around here. Also,
I don't know if they're gonna.
Really
this is just.
so.
I can't see all of these. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. So real quick, we're gonna take a moment, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this. I probably am not.
Is the judge striking out?
No. Hold on. It probably doesn't matter, right? John Boy shows like clips all the time, right? He
Gus, I promise you, bud, you're not being attacked. But that thing says Zweigels, and I don't know what that is.
I think he means hot. Oh, he said it's a Rochester hot dog.
That sounds good.
Dude, you live up in that area. Did you know what a Zweigel was?
I couldn't tell you that that's what that meant. Not a chance.
That sounds so good, though.
All right, real quick.
You bring them, I'll grill them, Gus. Is that a deal?
So this right here, as you can see, this is Will Warren from his last start against the Royals here. 11 strikeouts. So the first strikeout there against Bobby Witt, pitch out of the zone. He goes 3-2 here, takes a low strike on Vinny P. I mean, that call kind of could go either way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if an umpire called that a ball. Out of the strike zone again, expands the strike zone there against a lefty. That was not a strikeout. How do they put that in there under strikeouts? What? Am I going crazy? That one was finally in the strikeout. That little sinker, that 2-seamer, I think is what I want to focus on. That little, he's going to throw that again here at some point. What are we doing? Why does it say he strikes out 11 and then we're not showing the strikeouts? Am I going crazy right now? There you go. There's that little 2-seamer. You see that? Look at this little cutback 2-seamer right here. Sinker, whatever you want to call it. That's like, okay, that's same pitch, but he made contact. This right here. I mean, that's so lethal. That is so lethal. If he has that pitch on tonight, I think he's going over the strikeouts again. There's a little pick off of Bobby Witt. I can't believe they didn't just run the strikeouts. Generally, they do. I can't
believe I came here to give you an anti-Yankees pick, and all you're doing is showing Yankees highlights. This is just
fastball
terrible.
Down the middle. My point here is that he's been crushing the strikeout line. And there's finally another swinging strike.
You should be showing Michael Walker highlights.
Look, this right here. Oh man,
Woo!
It's such a lethal pitch. But he has to have that on for him to go over the strikeout total here today. And I don't think they will not be ready for that. They were very ill prepared to attack that pitch. Again, he just had, I mean, that's a changeup working the same way. But those pitches just kind of arm side run out of the hand, whether it's the changeup, whether it's the sinker, they were very ill prepared to attack those pitches from Will Warren. As you saw, he kind of sneaked them a couple times there with the sneaked them. He snuck them a couple times there with that the straight 4-seam and just landed it in the zone. But yes, that was from this year. And my point in making that is that was just from April 18th, 7 innings, 11 hits, 11 strikeouts against the Royals. And then he's gone for 6 9, 7, 6, and then 3 last time against Toronto. I would not be surprised if he stays under the strikeout total here today. If you look, he's been crushing the over, yet we're getting a number here that's, I believe, plus 125 for the 6th strikeout. I mean, if that was a clear over spot here today, like that plus 124 would be gone. Whether, I bet it, you bet it, anybody, like the models would be really hitting on the fact that he's going over this number. And I just think that last start, as I showed, it was a huge anomaly. They were not prepared for that arm side run on those pitches. I think they'll be much better prepared for that today. If they're not and they stink, then hey, so be it. But if you want to go over 5.5, I'm not going to tell you no. I just think I want to explain that, like, it's probably not as easy. I don't know if it was in here. It might have been in the early edge chat. I just don't think it's as easy today for him to get those strikeouts. And it's not as easy as like, oh, he's got 6 every time, I'm just going over 5.5. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a bunch more contact here today.
Kirk makes a good point. And I think that's accurate. They were trying to pull the pitch last time, and maybe this time they'll be trying to go the other way with it, be a little more patient on it.
At home too, right? So, it's your own batter's eye, a bit more comfortable in your own park. You know that those pitches are coming now. He's going to have a lot of arm side run. If he doesn't and it's straight, it's the fastball, right? So like there's something to be said, I think, about seeing him last time and striking out so many times, not wanting to get into that position again. And who knows, you could even have Will Warren change his approach as well and pitch a bit more to contact, right? So, I just don't think it's as easy as like you have to play the Will Warren strikeout over today.
All right, boys, I wish you a happy Memorial Day. I do have to run.
Thank you, Jeff.
Clean the grill.
Thank you for being here.
But before I go, and I love Gus Dawson, but he's fraudulent. He's absolutely fraudulent. He sent me a link to these Weigels things, and I was like, oh, all right, they're hot dogs. They look pretty good. Dude, they are Texas and North Carolina style hot dogs made in New York. If that's not fraudulent, I don't know what is.
I just clicked on this too. I wish I could see what they look like, though. They're just hot dogs?
Yeah, they're a hot dog. But like when you read the thing, it's like, oh, it's the best of both worlds. This package contains 3 Texas and 3 North Carolina whites. Like,
I'll try it.
What? Yeah, no. I'm down for it. But you can't have Texas hot dogs made in Rochester, New York. That is blasphemy, bro.
New York City. You ever see a commercial for the salsa?
Yeah, the salsa. Yeah, the salsa. And everyone's like, dude, like salsa should be like a Southern thing. It shouldn't be. Yeah, you're making. Yeah, exactly. You're making
New York City.
You're making Texas hot dogs in Rochester. That's fraudulent. That's fraudulent.
Probably a good place to stop here.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, boys, I'm going to clean the grill. Enjoy your day. Amags, I'm tweeting at you, Bubs.
All right, we're going to leave on this comment from Gus. We're leaving it off on this comment from Gus. He said, shut it up and put it in your mouth.
Guys and gals,
enjoy your weekend, your final day of the weekend here with your family. If you've got any more MLB questions or anything else you want to talk about, let me know. I tried to cover a good bit of what you were asking about. We wanted to have some fun and pop on here today. I think we, at the very least, accomplished that. So thank you, everybody. I will catch you on the flip side. Squishy, you know the law. Last words.
Yep. I know the law. The law won. Listen, today's going to be excellent. Every day that we wake up and smile is an excellent day. Every day that we get to relax is an excellent day. We getting to relax again is a result of our troops, the people who protect us, the people who support us. And those people can be in your family. They can be your friends. So let's just have some fun. Be thoughtful. Remember those who may have had to sacrifice for you. Let's just really enjoy each other, enjoy the people around you, laugh, love, and enjoy some Zwieglers.
All right.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.